Yes, it is I. It is that time, and we're going to talk about the movie that everyone's talking about, Thor. Yes, screw the synopsis. You know the synopsis. You can read the synopsis on IMDb. What you really want to know is Thor good? Well, let me tell you, folks, Thor is good. It is decent for a superhero film with the material that they have that could have gone over the top cheese. Mr. Shakespeare, Kenneth Branagh, helps, as my good friend put it, ground otherwise scenes that could have been so fantastical you wouldn't buy into them and just totally not gotten into the movie. It would have taken away from the movie because of the cheese factor. But Kenneth does a great job with Asgard as well as the Frost Giant realm in painting these environments and the sets and the characters in such a way that they are at least feel somewhat grounded and not made up, not too cheesy. He plays a fine line there. Okay, so the parts that are in Asgard and Thor's realm and in the Ice Giant realm, those fights and, you know, the sets and the costuming, everything looks really good. And the thing, you know, flying hammer and everything is not cheesy where it could have been, I think, in the hands of a different director. Now, I will say probably the weakest parts of this film were actually the parts that took place on Earth, at least for me. Okay, I would have been happy had it take place almost entirely in Asgard and in the Frost Giant land, okay? The effects and everything there, even the acting seemed better than when they landed on Earth. When they landed on Earth, now, we do get to meet Natalie Portman, and while there is great chemistry between Chris Hemsworth, so Thor, and Natalie Portman, scientist, they really buy into those characters. On the whole, all the scenes on Earth almost seemed like they just kind of had to toss them in there to get you kind of to relate to the characters, okay? Now, it did move the plot along as well as set up some more elements for the Avengers film, and I will say the parts with S.H.I.E.L.D. in the Thor movie seemed a lot less forced into it than, say, the previous Marvel Studio works, especially Iron Man 2, you know, where it felt like they almost had to just toss it in there. Whereas this one, at least they worked it in a little more natural, and definitely setting up for the Avenger film, where, according to even, you can see it on IMDb, looks like Loki will be back as well as the Scientist. We know Chris Hemsworth is going to be back, okay? So they're really setting it up for that Avengers film, which I hope is really good. Thor is worth your price of admission, folks. Now, I got to see it in the 2D, not in the 3D. I heard the 3D sucked, which is okay. You can see it in the 2D. You won't lose anything by not seeing it in 3D, okay? It's still a very enjoyable film. You get some real performances from the actors, which, again, I think you can lead to the director and his experience with Shakespeare. And in the end, I hope if they do another Thor movie, they do the Thor movie all in, like, the other realms and forget Earth, because those, for me, were the flattest and most generic superhero part of the film. I gave Thor 4 stubs, ladies and gentlemen. It is definitely worth your price. Popcorn and soda. Go and have a good time and enjoy it. And it looks like we got an exciting summer season starting. First we took off in our cars with Fast 5, and now we're slamming our hammer down with Thor. Let's see what's going to happen next week. I'm excited, and I think you should be too. Until next time, folks, keep that ticket stub.